Welcome back from the ad break, and let's continue with our lesson. So we are now going to wrap up our lesson. Now remember, our concept map had 3 points that we were looking at. We looked at investigation of geometric patterns, then we looked at representation of these geometric patterns, and then lastly, we were solving problems involving geometric patterns. So some of the key words and language that we were using during the lesson, we looked at the numeric pattern, the geometric pattern. We also looked at term number when we were referring to the geometric pattern, and we also looked at the constant difference. We also considered the rule of the pattern and also the algebraic equation. Now, let's look at the common errors or things that you should remember when you are working with this topic of number patterns or geometric patterns. So, find the pattern that relates each diagram to the next one before you continue with the pattern. Our second point there, determine what is changing and what is not changing in the diagrams. So, establish how what changes. The third point, find the difference between terms by subtracting the first term from the second term or subtracting the second term from the third term. The fourth point there, find the common ratio by dividing the second term by the first term or dividing the third term by the second term. And lastly, find the algebraic equation by finding the relationship between the term number and the term itself. Let's end off our lesson with a nice challenge. So, in the diagram here, we can see that we've been given dimensions. So, 0 dimensions, 1 dimension, 2 dimensions, and 3 dimensions. So, we need to complete the table for the pattern of what is there in our diagram. So when we look there, let's, for example, the first one. So the first one, which is 0 dimensions, the number of points that we have there is 1. And as we can see, there's 1 there. And the number of lines, we have no lines at all. And the number of squares, we have no squares at all. Now, can you continue with the second one and the third one and the fourth one as it is? That is a challenge for you, and I hope you'll be able to do it. That's it for today's lesson. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I do. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.